It is the RIOT podcast for Wednesday, March 16th, St. Patrick's Day Eve. Happy St. Patrick's Day Eve to you and your family.
I was going to say, save it for tomorrow. You know, all the St. Patrick's Day stuff will be coming tomorrow during the show.
Hang your pot of gold by the fireplace, and soon enough, it might be filled with who knows what.
All the normal stuff of like wearing green tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else, or is that everything?
That's pretty much the only thing.
Yeah, it's green.
I got to remember I don't know if I don't have a lot of green.
Yeah.
And so as I'm thinking through my closet right now of what I could possibly wear for tomorrow, it's pretty slim pickings for green.
Now, how extreme do we have to go on the green? Like, do you have to actually wear a shirt that's green, or if you
Pants.
just wear, like, I have a green
Pants, Hudson.
the green socks will get you through. I have a green hat that actually has a maple, not a maple leaf. That would also be appropriate
shamrock?
in a different way. But yeah, it has a shamrock on it.
See, I feel like the hat is not enough.
You
but
don't think?
It has to be a part of the shirt somehow, but it doesn't have to be a solid green color.
I think it just needs to be visible. That's what I would say.
That's all?
It's all like socks wouldn't fly. It needs
Green
to be
underwear,
visible.
not going to work.
No.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Remember, no pinching either. It's your choice. We're not wearing green if you don't want to.
So anyways, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and we might touch on that briefly during the show today. But I just think we had a fun time, didn't we, gang?
We did.
We had a good show.
It was such a good show today.
Yeah,
I think my
so.
favorite part was Isaiah's final Bachelor roundup with the details of what happened last night because he's now our Bachelor guy.
It was incredible. I mean, incredible night. There's no other way to describe it. It was a lot of twists and turns.
Did you have another
indescribable.
party? Did more people come over? Did you watch
we
by
had
yourself?
our.
Whoa,
I didn't watch it
you
by
went-
myself. No, we had like friends over and stuff, and we all watched it together, and we all went through the torment and heartbreak all at once.
Were
so.
tears shed in the room?
There was no tears in the room, unfortunately. Jim teared up a little bit, but outside of him,
Jim
my
the
dog, he
Just
was
a
the
lot
only
of
one.
screaming at the show.
Yes, it was a lot of yelling, and I can't believe you, Susie. How could you do this to us for the most part? But it was
So
a fun night.
We covered The Bachelor. We also cover the Cleveland Browns news, which by the time we're doing this podcast intro, there's been no update on, but there's been a lot of behind-the-scenes talking between Hudson and Isaiah on what's going to happen with Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait. I'm waiting with bated breath.
It feels like the Aaron Rodgers wait all over again.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
That's why I love it.
It's like,
I
liked
get to
it better.
experience it from the other side.
Yeah, I liked it better from the other side, where I was like, dang, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, like, I'll be happy for Hudson. But at the same time, if he leaves, like, that'll be kind of funny, too. But for
That's
me,
what I'm thinking, too.
And that's how Hudson feels now, is if he comes back,
the
great.
shoes
Although,
on the other foot.
I think, truthfully, that it would be either way a blessing for Isaiah. No matter what happens, if Baker Mayfield is no longer the quarterback of the Browns, I think it will be better in the long run.
Yeah. Maybe not
But
right
I'm not
away.
sure he agrees. You're
We'll
not going to be
see.
able to see it in the heat of the emotion of the moment. You might not see it, but one day you'll look back and say,
I'll check.
Hudson was right.
While
Yeah,
you cover,
I guess we'll see.
Let me see if there's any update while you cover our other higher good points from the show this morning.
One of the other things I saw, which was like the Rick and Morty, like Frosties, right?
Yeah.
And so like that also brought me back because I've told Hudson this story before, and Nikki has not heard this one, about how I once left a bad review on Yelp of Wendy's because they forgot to give me my Frosty. I came there for the free Frosty,
and you didn't get it.
and they didn't give it to me, and so I had to leave a wholeheartedly terrible review
Dude,
on how I
how-
would never return.
How bad are you if you're doing a fast food review?
But listen, okay,
That was the whole topic.
It was typical scenario. There's a McDonald's and Wendy's right next to each other, and my brother and I were driving home from I forget where we were at, but we were driving home, and I said, "Which one do you want?" And I was like, "Well, I have this Frosty coupon. You know, we might as well go to Wendy's." It's the whole reason we went there.
Yeah.
And then they said it was in the bag. It wasn't in the bag.
Well, why
so.
didn't you check the bag? You always have to check the bag.
I know. I trusted, and you should never trust.
No,
It's your
you can't
fault.
trust.
And like usually Wendy's is like my safe haven. They usually never do me dirty like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm more likely not to check the bag. Whereas like McDonald's, Burger King are a little bit more
See,
edgy to me. I don't trust them quite as much.
Now
but Wendy's
hearing this
usually doesn't do me
story,
dirty.
again, I would throw a flag on the play almost right away when they said that because it's a cold Frosty with your hot food. It shouldn't be in a bag.
Should not
you
be
gotta
in the
keep
bag.
that
Never
separate.
be in the bag.
Got to keep that separate.
And with how bad fast food is and with ordering and like how many workers they have, like now they're just honest. They're like, yeah, we're not even giving it to you. You're like,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But I paid for it. It doesn't matter.
just go.
It's not in the bag.
You're not gonna
or in
get
this
this
case,
today.
it was free. What do you want?
I know.
Yeah.
And they're
You did
like,
not pay for it.
But drive away, will
Yeah.
you?
There's a terrible line. We talked about that, and then we also talked about the new Disney Plus show on the way that none of us seem totally excited for another Marvel show, which isn't very typical of us not to be excited.
We're not sold on it, but I think I feel a little more open to it than you guys. But maybe that's just my Marvel, in a way, what are you, like, completion bias or whatever, that I just feel like I need to watch everything at least a little bit to give it a shot, since it all ties together. And what I don't want, and this is why I do hate Marvel in a way, is I don't want to get into a movie in 2024 and be like, what's Miss Marvel doing here?
Yeah.
Who is she? So
No backstory, you're not with it.
Right, totally out of the loop.
I hate what I feel like Disney's one step from having like a baby Marvel, baby Avengers, Muppet Baby like tie-in.
Yes.
So like I know they're wanting to get as much of an audience as possible, but you can go a bit too
niche.
far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like middle school or like early teenager stuff to where you just can't.
To where as an
connect with
adult
it.
you feel a little like you're just not made for you.
You were already watching like a superhero, like nerdy
Yeah.
movie, like in general, and now that they're making it more childish, you're like, now I'm really feeling weird. Like,
Maybe they
things
just
are getting weird.
Maybe they just want to make you relive the glory years, make you feel like you're a kid again.
No, I remember those being good.
I hope there's some grown people out there that are really excited for this show. Like,
yeah.
I can't wait for this
they
to come
are.
out.
At least they'll say they are.
Yes.
I don't want to go back. I didn't have a superpower and I didn't have support. So,
Yes.
so either way, well, feel free to text us. Let us know if there's anything you want to mention from the show today. We could include you tomorrow. You just text 877-2-RADIO-U and throw in that you're a podcast listener, and make sure to put in your name as well.
And we'll catch you next time for St. Patty's Day.
Have a good day.
See you guys.
We've done you a favor by selecting the best of the worst and compiling it all in one place. Riot Podcast Radio U.
2022. Partisanship is on an all-time high, they say. You know, everybody just retreats to their own corner, their own tribe, and they don't want to agree on anything.
But this we can.
Except for one single thing that has brought Republicans and Democrats alike together to vote unanimously in the Senate yesterday. And that something is daylight saving time.
No one wants it anymore.
Evidently not. It passed. A bill yesterday in the United States Senate passed that would, it's confusing to me because it was saying it will make daylight saving time permanent. And I'm like, no, that means we have to change the clocks forever for the rest of our lives. But no, that means that we will permanently switch to daylight saving time.
Correct.
And we will no longer have to switch our clocks. Now, the change, if this continues, now it passed the Senate, so it's to go through the House, and then the president has to sign it. That's how bills work. But if it goes into effect, which if it just got by a bipartisan unanimous vote in the Senate, so you would think it's going to pass everywhere else, it would not take effect until really 2023, where we would still change the clock backs. Change the clock backs. Yeah. And we'd have to, of course, do it in this fall as well. But then coming a year and a half from now, it will all be a distant memory because we won't have to do it anymore.
So it's called the Sunshine Protection Act, and that means they want it to stay lighter more later. And that would be, like you said, November 2023 that it would take in effect.
Yeah. So the arguments that are what is the argument against doing this? I've heard a few people come up with ideas. Mostly it's like kids riding the school bus is like the one thing. But
like in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, they say, though, that there's so many more dangerous. Well, I don't know. I hear it back and forth. They say that, well, the more sunshine there is at night, the more accidents people get into. Not just car accidents, but like, hey, you're out in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and whoops,
sure.
you fell down, something like that.
Yeah.
But people just want more light in the day. And so they want to not have time change anymore.
One of the senators who was, I guess, what do you call it? Like the author or whoever introduced it, Marco Rubio from Florida, he said, well, this is one of the good points, I think, for the non-daylight saving time portion of the year in the winter. He says that if you don't have a park or an outdoor facility with lights, you basically are shut down inside your house at 5 o'clock or even even earlier if you're in the western part of a time zone.
Doesn't that sound just awful?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it's wintertime, but he's from Florida, so if you're in like Pensacola and you're getting shut down at 4 o'clock and it's still like a balmy 40 degree. I don't know. I'm not that expert, but it would at least be nice to have the option to not be to not be a shut-in starting at 4 o'clock every night.
And they say that the move could reduce crime because the more light there is outside,
Yeah.
the less crime tends to happen.
Well, he knows that the sun still rises and sets for the same amount of hours.
True.
Right? But,
There's still crime time.
Yeah.
Stress and childhood obesity because they think, oh, more kids will go outside and play.
and seasonal depression too, because I guess the thinking is if you're waking up after the sun has already risen anyways, even for most people. But if the sun is going down so early in your day, I guess that does not help with your seasonal depression. So there's a lot of great arguments for it. I'm sure I think we'll wait until as soon as it switches and we all get comfortable with the other thing. Then all of a sudden it'll be like, wasn't it so much better before when we were switching the clocks and the sun set at 4 o'clock? Oh, that was great.
I'm sure
Remember the
we'll
good
hate
old
everything.
days? Yeah.
Would Hudson and Nikki's celebrity couple nickname be Hucky or Nidson? It's a good thing they aren't together. The Riot, Radio U.
So you're a Frosty fan, aren't you?
It's been a while. I'd probably
You ever
go-
bought that Frosty Pass thing you get on your keychain they used to give, and you could get like free Frosties?
They would send us one every so often.
They did?
Yeah.
So you didn't even have to pay for it?
I didn't even have to pay for it.
And how often did you use it, though?
I don't think I used it once.
Oh, come on.
I just never think about it when
Oh,
you go
man.
through.
Yeah, because, they don't probably honor that if you just, I don't know how it works because I've never had it, but if you just order on the app, which I always do, I never order in person at Wendy's.
Yeah.
So I don't know what how you would apply that. Do you just type in the comments of your online order?
Like,
I have the
promise
keychain.
I have the keychain thing.
Yeah.
Will you let me have
Add
my
a
small
Frosty.
Frosty?
I don't know, but so okay. So then maybe you're not the person, or maybe you are. Maybe what would get you drinking a Frosty or spooning a Frosty, however you put it. Maybe it would be if it was pickle flavored.
No.
No,
but
you
I
love
do.
pickles.
I do. Listen, just because you do doesn't mean we have to jump all the way to pickled Frosties. I understand that, but I do like the newer. What's their newer chicken sandwich thing that they have with?
Yeah, what is that? With
It's
the
got
fried
the pickle chips
things?
on it, and that I
Yeah.
think is good. I just think they have extra pickle chips.
Well, for this pickle Frosty, you're only going to be able to get it in Vegas, and it is a partnership with Rick and Morty. So
Yeah.
see the tie-in, the Pickle Rick Frosty. It was initially something that popped up at an event in Los Angeles last year, and now they're bringing it back and rolling it out at a big thing because this is a big weekend in Las Vegas. You've got the college basketball tournament, so
Yeah.
people heading to town. I don't know if there's games there this year or not, but nevertheless, there's betting. And then also St. Patrick's Day, where you got to go somewhere, and people are going to Vegas. And so, of course, you get a green Frosty. It just all makes sense.
It doesn't.
So- yeah, I think it does.
I don't know, when you say it out loud, you're like, well, yeah, of course, for St. Patrick's Day,
Obviously,
you're
a
going
pickle
to Vegas.
green Frosty be in Vegas for St. Patrick's Day.
Well,
of course.
they're hosting it at the Resorts World Las Vegas. They're hosting Morty's Mayhem, which is like a big event from the 17th through the 20th for Rick and Morty, and that's where all this stuff will have the Pickle Rick Frosty.
So it seems that I don't know if this has a real shot of being ever a thing that they do
No.
nationally, but they at least get to test it out and see how loyal the Rick and Morty fans are to doing stuff related to the show. If they'll travel to Vegas, if they'll actually eat this thing, even though it's probably disgusting, it's a little trial balloon for them. So if you want to try a Pickle Rick Frosty, you've got until March 20th to get out to Vegas and take part. And they've got other Rick and Morty festivities for you, in case you wanted to go. And
Gosh, can you imagine to be such a fan? You're like, yeah, I'm just going to go to Vegas. What
Yeah.
for? I want to try the Pickle Frosty.
Oh, come on. There's people out
Oh,
there,
I'm
though.
sure.
There's 100%. I didn't even know. Are they still making episodes?
I haven't watched Rick and Morty for quite some
Yeah,
time.
neither have I.
It's not 100% my style. Eric used to watch it, so I'm sure
Yeah,
he
that's
would
what I
know.
thought you might know.
Nope.
I thought you knew everything Eric knew.
Nope.
That's what happens when you get married, right? You know everything that each other knows.
That's one of those shows where he's more than welcome to watch if he
He has
wants.
permission. He's
We
not
don't-
far behind because you just can't find the time to watch it together.
He's not waiting on me. So the pickled flavored Frosty is garnished with the deep fried pickle, like the chip stuff that they have on their sandwiches now.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Why are Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah always eating on the show? The more we feed them, the less they talk. The Riot. Radio U.
People, particularly on Instagram, are eating fish tank cleaner.
You mean like drinking it?
Yeah, putting it on their tongues.
What for?
What would you think that would be for?
Is it like a COVID thing? Or
No, not at all.
do you get a high out of it?
Actually, that's a good guess. Also, no.
Are you trying to make your fish jealous?
Look how clean my mouth is. You want to swim in here?
Oh, I'm using it and you don't have it.
It is actually, it's super strange to me. I mean, it's already strange eating fish cleaner.
Yeah.
But it's fish tank cleaner. But it's even stranger because it's like these fitness influencers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're in partnerships with fish tank cleaner brands, it looks like, where they're showing them eating it. And it's supposed to be like an anti-aging thing. Like here's this guy, his name is Ben Greenfield. He's a fitness influencer. In his advertisement type thing he did for it, he says some of the benefits include enhanced mitochondrial function and increased memory function, memory and cognitive function. And I'm gonna have to dispute that right there because I'm looking at the picture and his head is he's got the wired headphones and they've got a knot tied in the, in the earbud already. So I don't think your cognitive function is really all that high.
I agree. There's some problems there.
But yeah, he's not the only one.
What a weird trend.
Yeah, so there's him. There's like this makeup artist in California, and they're like the thing is to put it on your tongue because it turns your tongue blue, like you just drank Kool-Aid or something.
Sure.
And then you're showing like, look what this blue fish tank cleaner can do for you.
A lot of times businesses are like, please don't, don't use it for anything outside of its initial purpose, but. If they're working with influencers, they basically say anti-aging and boosting metabolism is the biggest thing.
And I get, sometimes you see the infomercials or whatever, you watch like the TV's on and it's daytime TV or whatever, where it's more an older demographic usually watching. And they love telling you about the anti-aging. But these are not old people. These are young, fit, like just normal people. And they're talking about you don't want to age, even if you're like 25. You got to watch out about the effects of aging starting right now.
So do you just put it on your tongue because they say like it's an antioxidant, aging, chronic or severe health, but it's like they say for only $44.
That's still a lot.
Is that one tablet?
I mean,
do you swallow it? Is it just on your tongue? Or
I wonder if it gets absorbed through your tongue or if you drink it or do they have a liquid form since it is for fish tank cleaner for fish tanks? I don't exactly know all of that about it, but...
And I like to recycle or like reuse or just make sure I'm using it for its initial purpose. Do you have to stick your tongue in the tank?
Oh, yeah.
When you're done.
Hey, that's pulling double duty right there.
You don't want to go anything to waste.
You got your fish in the tank. What's another great thing for your health? Fish oil. So you're getting your omega-3s. You stick your tongue in there too, maybe? I don't know.
Gross. Okay, so they say it comes in like a small lozenge sort of thing.
Lozenge, yeah.
And you place it between your gums and stuff, and you can let it dissolve.
Ugh.
And
I just can't imagine.
It goes into your bloodstream.
Given all of the health benefits, sure, even if they were true, I don't think I could do it. It just feels like it'd taste nasty. And I don't want to have a blue tongue.
Sometimes, though, your health, those things taste gross.
Right. It's a small price to pay for anti-aging and cognitive function.
Now, they do have the warning. It has an FDA warning. It interacts with antidepressants and can cause sometimes a syndrome that could be potentially fatal, a serotonin syndrome.
Right. Yeah, especially for those with the antidepressants. So... of course there's a couple influencers out there that are saying that the fish tank cleaner is good for you, and then there's a whole lot of, it seems like, TikTok doctors telling you no, it's not. It's not worth it. Don't do this.
Well, I didn't think we'd have to tell you, but maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something else that you could try.
Just keep your fish tank clean. That's all you need to do.
Maybe a gummy vitamin or something that'll work better than this.
Absolutely perfect. No notes. The Riot on Radio U.
Now, the NFL QB carousel, it keeps on turning, and I want to thank the Cleveland Browns for getting in on it, because just as it seemed that things were dying down, especially, and for our show particularly, we got so much mileage out of me being an Aaron Rodgers fan, then he just re-signs. We need something to fill the void.
You need something else.
And here comes the Cleveland Browns. They've started poking around, potentially trying to trade for Deshaun Watson, even though it doesn't sound like the Texans are especially interested. And since the Browns have been interested, at least, that has really hurt, it looks like, their current quarterback, Baker Mayfield, who Isaiah loves.
His
Don't you love
feelings
him?
are like...
Yeah, he's hurt. He's definitely hurt. And this is not looking good here for my Brownies, I would say. I'm very, very
You don't
worried.
think?
I'm very worried waking up this
What are
morning.
you worried about?
This is what's going to happen.
They could get Deshaun Watson.
No.
Yes.
We're not.
Come
I
on,
am
look
not
at-
convinced. I'm not convinced we're going to get Deshaun Watson.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of
That's
like
a long shot.
It's a long shot, and we're just ruining our relationship with our current quarterback. Therefore, we're going to come into this next season and be quarterback-less, is what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that we've got, like, our cute girlfriend we've always been with, and then right now we're trying to, like, shout at this 10 that we have no chance at, and our current girlfriend's getting really mad at us.
Sure.
And she's going to leave, and you're not going to get that 10 that you think you can get, and then all of a sudden you're coming into the season solo yet again.
So they're saying they weren't thinking of possibly trading Deshaun Watson for, like, Baker Mayfield.
That's because the Texans don't want him.
So they
Yes.
don't want
They said,
him.
no, we're good.
So
we're good.
which I find really funny. So then I was kind of trying to read into it. You're like, well, I'd even be more offended.
Yes.
Like it's
But
not
see,
an even trade or
That's
something.
the thing. That's what, to go along with your analogy, you're talking to some other girl, and I'm not saying this is right to do in real life, but you're talking to some other girl, you're trying to slide into the Instagram model's DMs. Meanwhile, you've got your girlfriend, but she's got nowhere else to go.
It's just so weird.
You can make her as
know.
mad as you want. What's she going to do? She
Hey,
got
he's
nowhere
out.
to go.
So if they did bring in this other guy, would Baker Mayfield become like the backup, or
He would definitely get traded.
Yeah.
He would get traded somewhere else. If they bring in Deshaun Watson, he's gone. But at this point, it seems as if even if we don't get Deshaun Watson, it seems as if Baker's already gone, which is very, very nerve-wracking because I just don't see other possible options in the market that are going to be as good as Baker
But I don't
is.
understand. Is he, like, how could he force a trade? Wouldn't that make, like, his trade value already seems pretty low? What if the Browns are doing this all, maybe they'll get Deshaun Watson. They're thinking that's not a bad option. But option two, the alternative is Baker Mayfield, ultra motivated, actually has a great season because he's got to prove all the doubters wrong. It could be, right?
That's what I thought, but then I see this message today, and Baker's already pen to paper pretty much saying that he's out of here.
They clearly overestimated Baker's mental fortitude.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this time and time again with Baker. He's been here for 4 years, and for whatever reason, he just struggles with the whole social media thing.
Yeah.
He's I would say if I had to describe him as anything, a little bit dramatic. He's a little bit dramatic.
no, his goodbye letter, even though
Yeah,
he hasn't goodbye.
Exactly. So he's a little dramatic, and I still love him to death. But at the same time, it seems like we're pushing him away, which is saddening.
I do appreciate how people are pointing out that Tua, the quarterback for the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, he's been dealing with the Deshaun Watson coming to replace him rumors for a year plus. Never said anything. Not said a single thing. Baker Mayfield, one day.
He can't even last 24 hours.
24 hours.
He can't
last.
I mean, I don't know what we were thinking. I mean, and our franchise knows that Baker is slightly dramatic. When I mean slightly, I mean very dramatic.
Yeah.
So when we do these things and we're flirting with Deshaun Watson, like we knew. I knew going into this that if we started flirting with Deshaun Watson, Baker was going to be hurt, and here he is.
Well, it's
He's
hard.
very
Well,
hurt.
don't you think it's better to just move on then? Just rip the Band-Aid off?
No.
See, but we were just in the playoffs. We were so close, and now we're about to tear it all down.
I hate this time of year because you find out that the players and the teams don't always get along.
Yeah.
They don't all like each other. And then all this stuff comes out, it becomes more dramatic, and it's all just a part of the signing stuff and the who's going to where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to go along for the ride, and people's feelings are getting hurt.
Yeah, that's true. The fans' feelings are getting hurt. So it sounds like
Isaiah's
you're
getting hurt.
Yeah,
I'm getting
you're
hurt.
very hopeless.
Baker,
hopeless
we are
moment right now.
sorry. I swear we're so sorry.
I want to give you hope. I want to be optimistic. Maybe you've been talking about them drafting a receiver in the first round. Maybe there's a quarterback for them.
No, we're not doing that
Maybe
again.
Malik Willis or
We
Kenny
did that
Pickett.
for 20 years. You know how many quarterbacks we drafted?
It just upsets him, okay?
Lower your expectations enough, and you'll never be disappointed. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Now, last night was the Bachelor finale, part 2. And I have to say, I have to admit, I was half tempted to watch, but I already had tickets to the Batman. So I gave my rose to the Batman over the Bachelor.
Well, maybe you made the right choice.
Yeah, but
it's hard because Isaiah, we found out he watches with his friends The Bachelor. So it's hard to go from he was our Cleveland guy an hour ago for Baker Mayfield talk to now, how was The Bachelor?
So well-rounded. So well-rounded. I can't believe you guys didn't tune in. You guys didn't tune in?
No, but I'm reading a synopsis here, and we have you to report back. So that's all I need, probably.
The work was already done?
Yeah, I can't say that I think I'm going to, now knowing what happened, go back and watch it.
Well, yeah, you can't watch it now.
No,
I mean, obviously
it wouldn't be the
after
same.
this. So if you haven't seen it yet and you're waiting, then just turn on the radio for 3 minutes.
Spoiler alert territory right here.
Because last night was a night to remember. I mean, it was the night of all nights.
Clayton.
A night like never before. Clayton is probably the most hated Bachelor of all time.
I feel like every season of The Bachelor, we hear all these same things. So
yes,
I think,
of course.
I thought every Bachelor always ended up being the most hated one.
Well, when you date 30 women, I mean, it's hard to come out of that and somehow be liked.
And you tell them you love them?
Yeah, when you tell when you tell the final 3 that you love them all. So in last night's episode, as we knew before, there was 2 finalists.
No,
which
not
were,
everybody knows.
Yes, as some of you know, as those of you who have listened to my recaps in the past, even if you've been watching or not, there were a final 2 girls, which were Rachel and Gabby, because Susie left by choice. She decided, after finding out that Clayton had told them all they loved them all, that she wanted to tap out and that he was not the man for her, correct? And so then in the final episode, Rachel and Gabby get to meet Clayton's parents. Everything's going well. And then Clayton says, I think I need to go back for Susie.
I've made a horrible mistake.
I've made a big mistake. He's going to try to convince her to come back.
But she left.
But she chose to leave. And then so she tells Susie that he is in love with her, tries to win her back. Susie denies him.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Strong woman.
Strong woman. And then
Woo!
Clayton, before he back up with Susie, broke up with Rachel and Gabby, ended things before getting the word from Susie.
So who does Clayton have?
So Clayton left the final Bachelor episode, completely alone.
Wow.
With nobody.
He is the worst Bachelor ever.
So then last night we also had the live audience and whatnot, and they bring everyone back because it's been months since the end of the show, right? And so we got to see Rachel and Clayton talk for the first time, and Gabby and Clayton talk for the first time since he broke up with him. They completely annihilated him on air.
Oh.
I mean, I haven't felt bad for Clayton this entire time, but I felt bad for Clayton in that moment because he looked so dumb. I mean, there was no other way to describe it. The women were just completely, because they had now watched the season back.
Oh, sure.
And so they got to see, you already had told Susie you loved her the most. Why were you stringing us along? You know, all the things that you don't want to have a conversation about.
Yeah.
He had to have all those conversations. And then they bring Susie out, and Susie and Clayton are now together.
No!
She doubled back, he doubled back, and then she doubled back.
No,
and so now
Susie.
she went from being oh my gosh, she's so strong, walking away from
What is
Clayton,
this?
denying him twice, and now she falls back into his lap, and they are now together.
So the last few
No.
months haven't been good to Susie, it sounds
No.
like.
No, been terrible to Susie. And so hopefully Clayton now loves one woman.
If you watch The Bachelor, I just want you to know you're watching red flags. You're like, what's a red flag? What should I be looking for? That's it. The whole thing just tells you
Yeah.
what you should not have in a relationship.
So did you see the announcement? Is this correct that when the Bachelorette...
Clayton's a dog?
No, I'm moving on from Clayton. I want to forget about Clayton.
Oh, we're done with
Worst
Clayton.
Bachelor ever. I don't want to talk about him again unless it's about him breaking
doing
up with...
so good,
and
Hudson.
Susie breaking up with him is only... No, but I saw that the Bachelorette is coming up, and it seems that... what were the names? Gabby and Rachel?
Yes.
They're going to be dual bachelorettes. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's the last two who were in the final, obviously, with Clayton, who were done so dirtily they get to move along.
Over there.
Nice.
Well, I know you
I guess.
normally, you and your friends, guy friends, by the way, don't usually watch The Bachelorette, but I think like someone in here needs to since this is now a thing.
Oh, it's definitely your
So
territory.
it seems as if this is Hudson's takeover. It seems as if I've won him over.
Oh,
We'll
will
watch
you-
it together.
Isaiah, will you pass the rose?
I know.
To Hudson?
I don't think I want to watch it as much as I want to hear you recap it.
But
It really
see, listen, I
entertains
think
me.
it would be so good, if he came in here. Nikki's not allowed to watch.
No.
Hudson and I have to watch so we can give you guys like the full picture.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, for
And I
the-
feel like we're just gossiping about what happened last night.
Yes.
For the Bachelorette, are they doubling, or maybe you haven't seen, or they probably haven't announced, but are they doubling up the amount of men?
60
Is it like
men.
60 men? That'd
date-
be a lot to keep track of. Even
that'd be
30
too
is
much.
already a lot.
I can't wait to see the two of them, battling over men as well.
I
So
feel
the
like
Bachelorette.
ABC needs to get on you, Isaiah, to have you a part of like the commentary, like crowd. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
yes.
Oh, you'd be
announcer or
great.
something.
I'd love to be
How
in
they
the
used to do
audience.
that show like after The Walking Dead and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
The Talking Dead. They do that for all kinds of shows now. You'd be perfect
I know.
to host Talking the Bachelorette.
Well, feel free to text Isaiah any of your thoughts for last night's The Bachelor finale. He's here. He's ready.
So ready. It was a
ready to
season like
talk.
never before.
So you can text 877 RadioU.
We would say rate and review the podcast. But let's be honest, that would probably hurt more than hell. The worst of the Riot podcast.
You ever looked back? You ever done like any family tree stuff? Ancestry.com or anything like that?
No, not one of those like spit in the things and send it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Deals.
The DNA test. What is
Nah.
that? 23andMe or whatever?
'Cause
Yeah, I
they're
heard
all-
those things are kind of suspect.
Everybody was always, by the time like everybody really like it got popular.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're just documenting you.
Right. Yeah. They're just collecting a bunch of info on you. But I've been intrigued in doing that. Probably not the 23andMe, like find out what part German, what part whatever are you. But I would like to go back someday and find out, more of like the family tree, more specific stuff about where my relatives came from.
Yeah.
The problem is that's either expensive or really time consuming. So it's not as necessarily an easy thing to do, but it would be really interesting.
Well, that's why people use the companies.
Yeah, that's right.
If not, that works on you to do.
Yeah, but I'm especially interested because have you seen this show called? It's actually been on for a while. It's called Finding Your Roots.
Is that the one where they take like a famous person
Yeah,
and they unveil
and they like sit them
everything?
down. They get this big book and they like look back and so like I don't know. Jim Gaffigan's been on there. Larry David. They've done several seasons of it. A lot of people, and it's always really interesting to see because then you go back and you see these famous people and you see that most of their family before them is just normal people who knows where they came from. And it doesn't just tell you where they came from, but it can give you a lot of the stories, a lot of the background of the people that led up to this famous person that you now know and how the choices that they made, good or bad, kind of led to this person in a way being where they are. And it shows that like those are all normal people. They weren't celebrities. They didn't have some kind of platform or anything, but they made choices, and the good choices, like you can see how they pan out, and the bad choices, you can see how they pan out and whatnot. And it just shows that in your family aspect, what you do matters. It leads to the people down the line further from you, like your children or whoever one day. It matters what you do. It will affect them. And that's just showing you family-wise, not even showing you all the people that were affected by these people's choices that weren't related to them. So it just shows you how you are important as a normal person, even if you don't have some, like we can get caught up in the mindset of my life doesn't matter that much. Nobody listens to me. Like I'm just going to live and die and whatever, and it's not going to make that much of a difference. That's not the case. Even if you don't realize it in the moment, the stuff you're doing matters. Your life is important. It's important to your family, to the people around you, and it's important to God too. Jesus sees what's going on in your life, and it matters to him, and every choice you make is important to him because he cares about you and he loves you, and that's why he wants to help you make some of the best choices you can. Jesus knows better than any of us how to get through life, how to make good choices, and how much everything you do impacts other people, not just yourself. Your choices matter, and God wants to help you with that. So if you're ready for some help, for some guidance through life, and a little reminder that what you're doing actually matters, and that's a good thing, God's ready to do that for you. Ask God to come into your life. Say, hey, Jesus, I want some help. Sometimes if I feel insignificant, but I want you to remind me that I'm important to you and what I'm doing matters here on Earth, and I want you to help me do the best that I can here on Earth, and he will 100%.
If you're looking for diet motivation, you won't find it here. The Riot Radio U.
Marvel show trailer that dropped yesterday. It is for Miss Marvel. Is it Miss or Miss? Is there a Mr. Marvel?
I think it's Miss.
Miss Marvel.
At least I think it is.
And so we all just took part in experiencing the trailer for ourselves. It's a show. It's a series on Disney Plus. How are we feeling?
Well, I'm feeling like the Disney Plus series, not the movies, but the series are all starting to have a look and a feel to them. You know, like I think they're trying to really hit the whole family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it feels a bit too young, maybe, for me to want to get into this. But I don't know.
Nikki, in an old...
She's a miss, I'm a miss.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. To bring back an old trope from the show. She's a girl, you're a girl.
I know Disney expects me to then want to watch it, but that's not, I'm not a panda, but they still wanted me to watch the red panda.
Also a girl. Well, Isaiah, you're not a girl. How do you feel about it?
I feel similar to Nikki, where it's just like, it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like, I think that it probably is like hitting some sort of age group, but it does feel slightly younger, which like Marvel hasn't felt that way. Like throughout like the rest of these series and stuff. And so not like a big fan of the trailer. Definitely doesn't seem like something that I would be interested in, which is unfortunate because everything else they've come out with, I've been very interested in.
Yeah, it's tough because it does like it has there is a coolness to it, I will say, but I also feel the same as you guys that I just don't feel like I'm as much the target. But on that being said, I think Marvel has hit like they have a really great spot that they're in where they can target. They've expanded so big that they can have these shows that are more niche or more towards one audience of, in this case, probably younger females, but it could be anybody. But, and so you can target that, but you can also still have the people that want to watch everything Marvel and feel like, that wouldn't normally watch a show like this.
Sure.
But they feel obligated to because it ties into everything else. And that's kind of where I am, where I wouldn't start watching it just based off of the trailer, but kind of out of obligation. I might give it a chance. And hey, maybe it's really good, even though it's not targeted at me as much.
I just feel like I miss a bigger sort of Marvel look, one that's just a bit more movie-like.
Yeah.
But I know, like, Disney is smart. They're like, hey, they want to go younger than you, and you're like, but I'm only 20. Doesn't matter. Like, you're not young enough. They want to hit even younger. So then when they grow up with the Marvel characters, then they'll watch all the old stuff that's already been out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I may wind up giving it a chance once it eventually comes out.
You're not gonna watch it.
He's not gonna watch it.
I've watched every other
You're not
Marvel
gonna watch
series so far. Some of it, anyways. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'll probably give it an episode, see how it goes, and then we'll see. You aren't so embedded in Marvel that you just feel like you have to watch everything, Isaiah.
See, at the same time, like as Hawkeye's released a show, that wasn't something that like really piqued my interest either. Even though I am a huge Marvel fan, and so this is another one of those things that like I just don't feel like it's going to be like entwined enough. If it's entwined enough to where like I have to watch it, then I will watch it. But if it's not, then I'm probably not going to watch this one because I assume it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But it feels like it should be on like Disney Channel. That's what it feels
Maybe
like
that's
to
what
me.
they're going for, though.
That's what it feels like to me.
That is kind of rough.
I guess we'll see what happens.
This is going to tie Marvel into the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and Wizards of
Exactly.
Waverly Place universe.
The other multiverse.
Yeah.
So that's Miss Marvel. Let's see. They said that will be out. Is it June that it's going to be
Yeah, I
out?
saw June is what I
June
saw.
8th.
Well, that's something to look forward to if you're a big Marvel fan or a Miss Marvel fan. It's for you.
It sounds like these two need to do a little less tick-tocking and a little more tick-listening. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. Radio U.
We're all big fans of Aldi here at Radio U, I think. I can't speak for everybody, but we're generally fans of
I don't
Aldi.
go. It's not like my main place.
Yeah,
but
likewise.
I enjoy going, even though I'm shocked how much I can actually spend at Aldi on snack stuff.
But you're also shocked how much you can save, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm a little worried. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing it wrong.
Aldi is it's totally one of those places, kind of like when you go to that cheap section of Target or whatever.
Yeah.
And IKEA is another one where you know that everything seems a whole lot cheaper, but then you wind up buying more, so you really aren't saving all that much. But you're getting maybe more value, but you're also getting a bunch of stuff you don't actually need. But,
Except when it comes to the salsa and the cheese dip that they have.
Yeah.
Man, I'll buy jars of that
that's
stuff.
worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
Any day.
So what's one of the top problems with Aldi, though? I mean, it's a great store, but one, the quarter thing. Sometimes you don't have quarters. Who has change in this day and age?
Well, if you want to take a cart out, then you have to put a quarter in. You get the
Right.
quarter after when you're done. There's lots of hacks on how to not, use a quarter.
Oh, yeah? Would you like to share?
You can take a key, like the front part of a key.
It works?
It pops
fits?
in, yeah.
Oh.
And then there's a way to manage to have the cart if someone else takes one before you, or you just look around. There's usually a quarter
there's
around.
Or you can it's 25 cents. You can probably just figure out something. But that's one of the other one is that they don't provide bags whatsoever. I mean, you can buy reusable bags there, or I think you can also buy disposable, but you don't just have the grocery bags like you would expect at basically every other store.
Sure.
So it sounds like you've been on Aldi Hack
TikTok?
Twitter.
Yeah.
Aldi Hack TikTok, I should say. And so have you seen this one?
What's this one?
This instead of I've seen a lot of different options on what to do if you don't have bags to bring to Aldi.
This is a fantastic hack.
And so this person has come up with the idea of bringing a suitcase into Aldi.
What a great idea.
You put all your groceries in your cart, in your suitcase, and then when you pack everything up, it just all fits in one nice big suitcase, and it's all in one convenient location, and you're good to go. No bags
Great
required.
idea. I've seen people do laundry baskets.
Yeah, that's the other one I've seen. I thought that was a good idea.
'Cause that's
that
just-
feels a little less crazy.
It's just easier to bring that's just if you go to any store.
Yeah.
But that way you can bring your stuff in and kind of have something you can hold on to. But a suitcase is fantastic.
Actually, that's a great point that to bring it to any store. Sometimes, like if you go to Walmart and you buy a laundry basket while you're there, and then everything else fits in the laundry basket, then you can just carry all of your groceries and all the other stuff you bought. Why don't I just do that for every store?
You just leave it in the back of your car.
Not just Aldi. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's
What
hard.
am I doing?
I do the pickup sometime at Walmart.
Yeah.
And when you do pickup, they put like everything in its own individual bag.
Oh yeah.
It's so annoying.
Bagging has fallen off a lot in recent years.
No one cares anymore.
No, definitely not. They don't care about bagging things like to make sense. They'll put your laundry detergent with your frozen fish. They also don't care about saving the environment because everything else will get its own individual bag.
There was bigger problems during that time.
Yeah.
And so, you just leave like a basket in the back of your car. And then if you do pickup or whatever, it just all gets thrown in there.
So would you do this with the suitcase?
I'd be too embarrassed, but
I know,
it's a
right?
great idea.
The woman did say, that she was getting some looks and comments from other people around the store. So it feels like, what are you going to spend the night at Aldi? Are you that in love with Aldi? You're going to stay over?
But it's a great idea, especially if you live in an apartment like that's not on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Because if you have to carry a bunch of stuff,
That's a good point.
no need. It's all in your luggage.
You could just roll it up.
And who's using luggage for traveling as much?
Yeah, that's right. I still don't know if I would do this. I think I'd be a little embarrassed, but it's definitely an option.
Good for her.
It's probably better than buying bags there.
Hudson, Nikki,
The Riot.
on Radio U.
Do you recall a while back, what was it, like a month ago maybe, we tried the Turkey Hill Mystery Ice Cream.
You remember how hard it was to try to find it?
Yes.
It took, Isaiah looked forever, and then I just happened to find it at Walmart one day.
You just came across it.
And it was a good day because we tried it. Wait, did you guys like it as much? I know I kind of enjoyed it a little bit.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, but I think we were still in that post-Christmas glow of the Little Debbie Christmas ice cream because I feel like around that time we were just always comparing how it wasn't that.
Yeah, well, okay, let's put it this way. We did an ice cream after show last week.
Mm-hmm.
We tried several of the Little Debbie ice creams, but not all of them, and the Funfetti ice cream. Would you take the the Turkey Hill mystery ice cream over any of those.
No, because I knew it had berry stuff in it.
Yeah.
I just don't tend to go for that.
I think I would.
I would take it over a couple of them.
Yeah.
I like the fresh fruitiness of it. I remember the flavor. I thought it was like raspberry or something. Is that what we came up with?
The
What was-
pancake battery
Yeah,
nature of it.
pancake batter, yeah.
So if you recall, when we did this flavor test, we couldn't like nail down a flavor, but we were evidently pretty good at describing what we were feeling. Because we had somebody comment in. Deborah?
Yes, Deb.
Was her name?
She texted in and said she thought, based on us describing it,
Yeah.
in our normally very poor reviews, she said that the Turkey Hill mystery flavor, because I watched the video to make sure I got her name. She said it was blueberry pancake, or it sounded like it.
Yeah.
And Turkey Hill has announced that the mystery flavor they did was blueberry pancake.
Deb
No
was 100%
way.
spot on.
That
Based
was
off
it.
of our description, she figured out what it was. So it was a real team effort, all four of us getting together. And so we figured it out, although we have nothing to show for it because I don't think, did any of you guys fill out the thing to enter the contest?
No, they had a contest where you could win like ice cream for whatever.
For a year, as much as you want.
Yeah.
So we did not. But now they're going to be selling the blueberry pancake flavor.
Yep.
And that will be while supplies last. I'm not sure if they're repackaging it, though.
Yeah, it sounds like they are, right?
Like it was they're going to now show on the mystery flavor packaging. So maybe they'll slap a sticker on it
Yeah.
or something
Yeah, it
if
says
there's
blueberry
still
pancake.
any of the mystery flavor boxes.
But it says while supplies last, which means it's not available. It's already gone.
I don't know. Maybe if this one didn't take off, I feel like some other hard to find flavors.
Sure.
So maybe it is still something that's out there.
Yeah, maybe I'm just remembering it fondly, but I think it was pretty good. So I wouldn't mind getting it again. Although it does say at least it's going to be $4.29, which is kind of in the upper echelon.
A little pricey.
Yeah, for
Pricey.
ice cream.
It's
so
not a
maybe
pint
not.
though. You get the full gallon with
Yeah.
it.
Full gallon.
Congratulations to Deb. You were spot on. It was the blueberry pancake. And Hudson, if you want to really know what you thought, you guys can go back
Yeah,
to
there we
our
go.
food fight video. If you go to RadioU Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel, find our Turkey Hill mystery ice cream flavor video there.
You can watch it back through the lens of hindsight and now know and judge us differently based off of now knowing the end result.
Some are terrible guesses, probably.
Yeah.
We had a lot of those.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.